Okay, today let's start either seated or in Shavasana on your back. There is no rush to get anywhere. As always, you can use extra props to make yourself more comfortable. Maybe you're sitting up on a lift. Maybe you're lying on the floor with something under the knees. You could also sit on a chair or on a couch. And for a moment, take any adjustments that would make you feel even just 5% more comfortable. If you're seated, sometimes I like to rock forwards and back just to loosen up the hips a little bit, to loosen up the low back. And if you're lying on the floor, you might tuck the shoulders underneath you or wiggle the feet side to side. And when you feel ready, start to come to stillness. We've all had different mornings, different weeks. Maybe this is your first time sitting still today or this week, or you might close the eyes and let the eyes sort of sink back into their sockets, imagining you're turning your attention inward. Soften the muscles of the face. Relax the belly. Oftentimes, if we practice often or a lot, just by inhabiting these deliberate shapes, will affect the breath, will sort of cue the breath to deepen. So if that's happening for you, great. If not, you'll just need to remind it. So begin to deepen the breath gradually, allowing every inhale to be a little bit longer than the last until you're taking a breath that feels deep enough, but not full to bursting. Notice that internal dialogue. Sink your weight down into the floor, relaxing the muscles of the face again, letting your face be in Shavasana. When you're ready, we'll take our 3 breaths together. Exhale all the stale air out to begin. And then inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, sigh it out. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Exhale, let it go. Let the lips gently touch. Breathe in and out through the nose. And slowly start to blink the eyes open. If the legs are long on the floor, bend the knees and plant the feet on the floor. And if you're seated on the floor, start to lean back into your hands and then plant the feet on the floor. So either your back is down or you're on your hands. Try not to collapse into the shoulders if you're seated. Really press the chest forwards. And then flex the feet wherever you are. Start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. They don't have to touch the floor. You can keep the hips down if that feels good, or you can let the hips move and let this turn into more of a twist. So as the knees fall to the right, my left hip lifts a little bit. And as the knees fall to the left, my right hip lifts a little bit. But if you'd rather just work on the hips, targeting the hips, then you can keep the hips down and just move the knees. Slow breaths. The next time the knees fall to the left, hold here. Keep the feet flexed to protect the knees. Slow breath in, press the right hip away from you. And exhale, bring the knees back to center. Let the knees fall towards the right. Hold here. Flexing the feet. Press the left hip away. Slow inhale. And exhale, bring the knees back to center. We'll all meet on our backs for a supine pigeon. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Maybe stay here, flex the right foot. Maybe you bring the left leg a little closer in. You can hold the back of the left thigh. You could hold the front of the left shin. Anywhere on the leg that you can reach is fine. And as you inhale, press the knees away from you. As you exhale, pull the legs a little closer. Inhaling to press away. And exhaling to get a little deeper. Inhale, press away. Exhale, pull in. Take 2 more times at your own pace. You can always breathe slower or faster than me. Try to make sure the breath is as slow as you can comfortably go without feeling like you're gripping. The next time you inhale, lower the left foot. If it lifted, unwind that right leg and take the other side. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Flexing the foot, pressing the knee away. Maybe you stay here on this side. Maybe the legs come closer. Holding on wherever you can reach comfortably. Keep the left foot flexed. Inhale, press the knees away. And exhale, pull them closer together. 7 or 8 times. You might notice as you move here, the low back sort of changing, pulling away from the floor as you inhale and coming closer to the floor as you exhale. Allow that compression to press down into the floor, almost like a massage. Make sure it's not pinching. Taking 1 more round. Finish on your inhale, bringing the right foot to the floor, unwind the legs, and then roll to one side and make your way up into a tabletop. If you prefer to rock and roll up and down the spine, you could do that too. From table, hands and knees, take a few rounds of cat-cow. Plant the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. As you inhale, arch through the spine, look forwards, cow pose. Exhale to cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Move with the breath. If you need extra cushion under the knees, go ahead and take it. You can fold up the mat and give yourself some more squish. If the wrists are feeling sensitive already, you can come to fists instead, pressing the fists down into the floor. And after your next exhale, come back to a neutral spine. Walk the hands about one handprint forward. So now they're forward of the shoulders. And as you inhale, you're going to shift forward so the hips come forwards, and now the shoulders are back over the wrists. The hips might come a little lower. As you exhale, child's pose, reach the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, come forwards, almost like you're pressing the hips forwards in like a cobra pose. And exhale, shift the hips back to child's pose. It's okay if you have to move your hands a little bit. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, this time stretch back and stay. You can let the hips hover on the heels, or maybe they sink onto the heels. If you keep your hands where they were, hopefully you're feeling a little bit of a stretch in like the armpit area and the outer arms. If you're not quite feeling that, lift up a little bit, reach the hands forwards, and try to suction cup them down a little bit more as you sink the hips back. Your choice, you can stay here if this feels really good, letting your head rest on something. Maybe you float the right arm off the floor just an inch and make some small circles with the right hand. Keep the head and neck heavy. Once you've moved in one direction, move in the other direction a few times. And then lower the hand, take the other side. Inhale to lift that left arm. Notice the difference. Moving in the other direction after you've taken a few rounds on one side. And then exhale, lower that left hand and shift onto your belly. Sneaking forwards, Bhujangasana. Bring the hands by the low ribs, planting down on the floor so the elbows are straight up towards the ceiling-ish. Press the thighs down so the low back lengthens. And then inhale, peel the chest up off the earth. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, peel up. Exhale, lower down. Keep the back of the neck long. Inhale, lift, thighs strong. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Shalabhasana, reach the arms back to frame the hips. Hands float off the floor. Inhale to lift just the chest. Hold here. Maybe you're squeezing the shoulder blades together, back of the neck long. Maybe you reach so much through the feet that they start to float off the floor. Can you spin the inner thighs up towards the ceiling? So the sacrum spreads. Slow breath in, reaching the hands back, reaching the elbows up. As you exhale, lower onto your belly. Child's pose. Maybe you take puppy dog pose instead, where the hips stay lifted over the knees and the arms reach forwards. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out, let it go. One more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Shift to a tabletop. Tuck the toes. Make sure the feet are about hips width distance. Knees are about hips width distance, just in case they change. And start to shift the hips forwards and back. Stretch out the bottoms of the feet. If you can go further, you can sit the hips towards the heels, but that might be a little too much this early. We're all going to meet in a forward fold at the back of the mat. So maybe you start to shift back, walking the hands back towards the knees, then lift the knees off the floor and start to plant the feet as you walk the hands back, keeping the head and neck really heavy the whole time. Generous bend in the knees, shift the weight forwards and back. Notice how the hips change as you do that. Relax any gripping in the neck. You might hold opposite elbows here if you like. You might bend and straighten one leg at a time. Let your next exhale be deep and complete. Relax the arms down towards the floor. And as you inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, one more time, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, roll all the way up to stand, Tadasana. Keep the arms heavy. Let the head be the last thing that lifts up. Nice. From here, inhale to sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take a side bend towards the right. Let the hips move towards the left. Inhale back up to center. And exhale towards the right. Inhale back to center. Look up, maybe a little back bend. Press the hips forwards. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Knees can always bend here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Reach the arms overhead. Exhale, lower the arms, Tadasana. A little different this time. Inhale, sweep the arms up and come to a steeple grip so that the pointer fingers point up, like you've got little guns, Charlie's Angels. Inhale, look up. Exhale, shift to the side, hips move towards the left. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, shift the hips to the other side. Inhale to lift up. Maybe lean back, take a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. This time, inhale, come all the way up to stand, reach the arms up. And exhale, lower the hands, Tadasana. Start to bring your feet a little bit wider, a little wider than hips width distance. And start to just twist the spine. You're letting the shoulders twist. The arms are also twisting, but try not to just swing the arms. Try to swing the shoulders and let the arms follow. If that doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it. Okay, we're gonna catch the arm on the back. So I'm gonna swing my left arm back, hold it here, and then when my left arm, sorry, I can't do this and also mirror you. So I'm just gonna talk myself through it. I'm gonna swing my right arm back. I'm gonna keep it there. Then I'm gonna let my left arm swing and hold on with the right hand. So regardless, you're gonna be holding on with the right hand to the upper left arm. Spin the palm forward. Lower the right ear towards the right shoulder. Lower the chin towards the right collarbone. Lift the chin back up and gaze over the right shoulder. Look up slightly. Slow breath in. Head and neck back to center. Release the arms and take the other side. So that was my right hand holding my left arm. This time I'm going to use my other side. So the next time that right arm swings back, left arm swings back, keep it there so that you can hold on to the right arm. Turn the palm forwards on the right hand, shoulders back, and then left ear towards left shoulder. Slow breaths. Make sure the kneecaps are lifted. Lift the quads up. Bring the chin towards that left collarbone. Sometimes that discipline, the tapas of the practice, is just making sure you're doing the right amount of effort in each pose. Lift the chin back to center and then move the chin in line with the left shoulder. So you're gazing straight over the left shoulder, at least moving in that direction. Keep spreading the palm of the right hand. Tip the chin up slightly. Slow breath in. And as you exhale, come back to center, release the arms. Okay, sun salutations. You can come to the front of the mat if you like, or you can stay at the back. Let your exhale be deep and complete. Pressing the feet down, lift the kneecaps. Imagine you could send the weight back into the heels. In fact, maybe lift the toes up off the floor. So you feel what it's like to really have the weight back towards the heels. Then try to keep the weight there. You might even feel like your inner thighs are like deepening backwards. And then press the big toe ball mound down. Press the fronts of the feet down. Keep the kneecaps lifted. Try to keep your weight back there as you lift everything up out of the spine. Reach the arms down towards the floor. If you can hyperextend your knees, resist that urge, keep a little micro bend. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to plank, step back. You can stay in plank or you can lower onto your belly, up to you. As you inhale, take a back bend, the knees can come down and you can take a version of baby cobra or upward facing dog. And as you exhale, find downward facing dog or child's pose or anything in between. We're going to take 3 rounds of this. It's meant to warm the body. In the Ashtanga series, we start with like 10 of these. Today we'll just do 3. Allow each one to be different, even though you're doing the same motions. Notice the differences between each side, each round. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it go. As you inhale, step both feet forwards, halfway lift. Take your time. The slower you breathe, the more time you've got to get to these poses. Exhale, forward fold. You can always bend the knees in these folds. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. Exhale, lower the arms, Tadasana. 2 more times. Inhale, arms lift. Lift the kneecaps, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Let the back of the hips lift up towards the ceiling. Inhale, halfway lift, moving skillfully. Exhale, step back to plank. Maybe you hold plank. Maybe you lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale, flip the feet and take a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. You can take puppy dog pose. You can take this baby dolphin if your wrists are sensitive, where the elbows are down, but the hips are lifted with the knees down. Head and neck heavy. If you're in down dog, try to shift more weight towards the feet. Lengthen the arms forwards. Again, tapas does not mean doing a million push-ups. It means moving skillfully. Let your next exhale be deep and complete. And then inhale, step the feet forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. Exhale, lower the arms, Tadasana. Engage the legs again. As you inhale, sweep the arms up. Last time. Like you're moving through honey, exhale, forward fold. Let the heart lead you down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or float back, landing in bent arms if you're floating. Inhale, take a back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Maybe you're in child's pose instead. The tip here in downward facing dog, and by tip I mean the tilt is not in the low back, it's in the hips. It's almost like you're seated on the ceiling. So lift the backs of the hips up, try to lengthen the low back as you reach the hips back behind you. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out, let it go. As you inhale, step both feet forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, bend at the knees. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And exhale, lower the arms, Tadasana. You can always move faster or slower. Bend at the knees, chair pose. You might even bend the knees so much that you could sweep the arms along the floor. And then try to keep yourself that low as the thumbs come to the sternum, or maybe the arms reach forwards, palms up, or maybe you reach the arms in lines with the ears. Totally up to you. Reach the tailbone down. Try to press more weight into the heels, so you could even lift the toes for a moment. Lift the sternum up. Slow breath in, maybe look forwards and up. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, vinyasa. Come back to plank. Maybe hold plank, maybe lower down. Inhale, flip the feet, take a back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Not holding this one. Step the right foot between the hands. You can use your hand to help it up there. Bring the back heel down on an angle, setting up for warrior one. Bend deeply into that right knee. Press down into the outer left heel. And then as you inhale, lift the shoulders up over the hips. Bring the hands to the hips. See if you can square the hips forwards a little bit more, keeping that weight in the outer left heel and on the right heel. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe test your balance. Look up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the thumbs to the sternum. Come off of the back heel. Now you're in a crescent position. Bring the hands down to frame the front foot. Keep the left hand down. And inhale, sweep the right arm up towards the ceiling. Slow breath in. Exhale, reach the arm back and then down. Inhale, back and then up. Exhale, back and down. One more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lower the hand, plank pose. Step that right foot back. The knees can always come down. You can lower into chaturanga. Inhale, take a little back bend, maybe a big back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Not staying very long. Step the left foot between the hands. Move with control. Bring the back heel down on an angle. Warrior one. Outer right foot presses down. Center of the left heel presses down. Bend deeply into the left knee, finding your foundation before you lift up. Look forwards for balance as you inhale, press down, and lift the shoulders up. Bring the hands to the hips to start. See if you can square the hips forwards. They won't be totally forwards, but they're moving in that direction. Maybe test your balance, reach the arms, lift the gaze. Trust your legs. On your next exhale, bring the thumbs to the sternum. Lift the back heel. Inhale here, lifting the sternum. And as you exhale, bring the hands to frame the front foot. Keep the right hand down. Inhale, left arm back and up. Exhale, bring the arm back and down. Inhale, back and up. The back knee can always come down. Exhale, reach the arm back and down. One more time. Keep that back thigh lifting up towards the ceiling if it's lifted. As you exhale, bring the hand down. Step back to plank. Maybe hold plank, maybe lower down. Inhale, take a back bend, heart forwards, shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can hold here. You can take child's pose. If you've got even more 8:30 a.m. energy, you can bring the elbows down and take dolphin pose. Let the head and neck be heavy. Shavasana in the face. One more deep breath here. Use a long inhale to step both feet forward, halfway lift. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, bend the knees. Inhale, lift up, maybe thumbs to sternum. And exhale, Tadasana. Start to shift the weight into the left foot. And as you inhale, lift the right knee, bring the thumbs to the sternum for balance. Inhale here, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, step that right foot back with control. Now you're in a lunge position. Keep the thumbs on the sternum. Inhale, lift the sternum up. As you exhale, try to bring that right elbow across the left knee. You're twisting towards the side. And then you're going to reach down, lengthening down towards the floor. Try to keep the back thigh lifted. You can always lower it down towards the floor. If that right elbow is past the left knee, you can lower it down onto the knee, the outer knee, and then resist. Press the elbow into the knee, press the knee into the elbow, press the left hand into the right hand and twist. Again, that back knee can always come down. Keep the bend in the left knee. Slow breath in. This is our twisted warrior, twisted crescent. On your next exhale, hands frame the front foot. Step up to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach the arms up. And exhale, lower the arms, Tadasana. Lift the kneecaps, keep the legs engaged. Shift the weight onto the right foot. Thumbs to sternum. When you're ready, lift the left knee. Inhale. Keep that length through the spine. Oftentimes when we lift one leg, we sort of round through the low back. We keep the low back long. Shift the weight towards the right heel. Nice. Slow breath in. Exhale, slowly step that left foot back to a high lunge. Thumbs stay on the sternum. Lift the back thigh up. Inhale here. Take that left elbow. As you exhale, start to cross towards the right side. Lean forwards. You're trying to send that left elbow to the outer right knee. If it reaches, great. If it doesn't, no big deal. You can bring the back knee down at any point. Press the knee into the elbow. Press the elbow into the knee. Press the right hand down into the left hand. Press out through both heels. Slow breath in. Prayer twist. Slow breath out. One more inhale here. You got it. Use your exhale to bring the hands to frame the front foot. Step forwards, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up, look up. And exhale, lower the arms. Okay, bring the hands behind the back and clasp elbows. If you can't clasp elbows, you can try to clasp hands behind the back. Either clasping, truly clasping, reaching the arms down, or you can bring the elbows out to the side and then bring palm to palm, left on top of right, and then squeeze the fingers together. If you're holding the elbows, great. Try to keep the low ribs in as we do this. There's a tendency for them to poke out and forwards. What you're going to do is plant through the feet and try to lift the elbows away from the low back. Lift away, lift away. And do this a few times, trying to keep the low ribs steady. Trying to keep the collarbones wide. Release the arms, and now take the awkward cross of the arms. If you're not sure, then just go into your regular cross and then find a more awkward way to hold that other arm on top. Try to keep the low rib steady, and then take a few times on this side. Notice if the arm bone, the upper arm bone where it connects with the shoulder, is that coming forwards? Can you try to keep that steady? The collarbones wide, even if the arms don't move very much, that's okay. On your exhale, release the arms down. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Hold on to the opposite ear. So you're going to cross the arm over the head. Reach the left fingertips out towards the side. And as you exhale, gently bring the right ear towards the right shoulder. Maybe take some circles with the left wrist, just to give your brain something to do. Moving in the opposite direction if you're taking circles. Release your right hand and bring the ear up to center. Other side, reach the left arm up, cross to the right ear, and gently help it over to the side, reaching that right arm out at about a 45-degree angle. Take some circles with the right wrist, moving in both directions. Feel centered on your feet. Start to release that left hand and bring the ears back to center. Okay, one extra fun thing today, totally optional. I'll give you some options. We're going to come to a twisted chair. So for chair, sometimes we do it with our feet hips width distance. That's great. Today we're going to try it with our big toes touching and heels slightly apart. My teacher Lois says touch your bunion bones together. So if that makes sense for you, excellent, do it. And when you're ready, bring the hands to the hips, the fronts of the hips, right where the hips and the thighs meet, and press down as you sink the hips low and bend the knees. So you're really feeling like a deep groove here, the fold happening right here. Maybe lift the toes so the weight is on the heels. And we'll only be here for 20 minutes, so it's totally fine. Just kidding. Bring the thumbs to the sternum. We're going to try a twist. As you inhale, lift the sternum up into the thumbs, sink the hips a little lower. And as you exhale, take the right elbow and try to bring it towards the right knee. Notice if the knees and the hips are now thrown off balance. You can look down and make sure that the left knee is in line with the right knee. You can stay here. You can press the top hand into the bottom hand to help you twist up. You might even take that right elbow to the left knee and try to cross here. Lengthen through the side bodies so you have more room to twist. Slow breath in, leaning the top shoulder back, keeping the knees in line. And as you exhale, unwind, come to stand, and reach the arms down. Okay, other side. Take a moment to shake out the knees if you need to. No expectations for this side. Thumbs to sternum, actually with the hands on the hips, you can feel that groove here. Start to sink the hips low as you bend the knees, pressing those thigh bones down. Thumbs to sternum. Inhale, lift the sternum up, so you're lengthening through the whole torso. And as you exhale, take the left elbow, see if you can bring it towards the left knee. Now, as you do this, you might feel like your shoulder's sort of coming out of the socket. Pull the shoulder back, then see if you can twist up towards the ceiling a little. Watch the knees. Keep pressing the hips back evenly. Those thighs sinking low. Maybe you cross the elbow to the other side. Slow down your breath. One more inhale. And as you exhale, slowly unwind, come to stand, reach the arms down. Take some circles with the wrists if you need to. Shake out the knees if you need to. We'll take one more vinyasa. From the top of the mat, Tadasana. Also called Samasthiti, standing in attention. Weight back in the heels. Lift the kneecaps, reach the arms down, lift the sternum, lift the ears up. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, lean forwards, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, inversion, maybe downward facing dog, maybe something else. Arms long. Gaze steady. Face in Shavasana. We're all going to meet in a seat. If you're working on a jump through and you want to play, the way to start is to lift the hips a lot, bend the knees, start to walk the feet a little closer. And then I'm going to cross my ankles and keep walking the feet, trying to walk my knees between my arms. Keep the hands down as long as you possibly can. And once you can walk the feet all the way through the arms, you can sit down. And whenever you need to lift the hands, you can. From a seat, let's start with the hard stuff, and then we'll end with the fun stuff. Hold the backs of the knees. Round through the upper back just to feel what's not going to happen. From the hips, start to tip the hips forwards. Imagine you're trying to lift the back of the hips, the butt up off the floor, and then let that ricochet up through the spine. So the shoulders come back, and the whole back sort of tries to come through the chest. Maybe you stay here, maybe you start to tip back, keep that engagement in the back. Maybe you float the feet off the floor. Maybe you point the toes if that helps you. You could release the arms if you like. Navasana, boat pose. Slow breath in. We're going to do something different today. As you exhale, reach the left leg long, float it off the floor. Inhale, pull it back in. You can use your hands. Exhale, the right leg floats off the floor, flex through the foot, and inhale, lift it back in. One more time each side. Left leg long, hover it. Exhale, pull it in. Right leg long, hover it. And pull it in. Come onto your back. You can take some rocks if you like. You could even pull the knees into the chest and then rock side to side a few times. And then plant the feet on the floor. They should be about one arm's length away from you. So you should be able to feel your heels just barely with your middle fingers when you reach towards the feet. It doesn't exactly work in my body, but that's roughly correct. Hold the edges of the mat, tuck the shoulders underneath you, really tug on the mat. And then as you inhale, tuck the tailbone, feel the low back come closer to the floor. As you inhale, lift the hips, lift the low back, lift the mid back, bridge pose. Keep pressing the heels forwards away from the face. Try to bring the knees on top of the ankles. You won't be able to see them, but see if you can feel where they are in space. Tugging on the mat with the arms, pressing the heels towards the away from the face. Relax the head and neck. Relax the face. And exhale, lower onto your back. One more time like that, at your own pace. Tug on the arms, press the low back towards the floor, and then inhale to lift. You can stay here. We'll be here for 5 or 6 breaths. You might play with trying to lift one leg at a time up towards the ceiling. Try to keep the hips steady as you do that. You might instead try to clasp the hands behind the back so you can tuck the shoulders under you a little bit more. Relax the face, the jaw. On your next exhale, slowly unwind. Bring the hips down. Take a twist of your choice. Some of us like to cross one knee on top. I'll try that one. Right knee on top of left, and then I lift the hips and move them to the right a little bit. Bring the hips back down, and then lower the knees towards the left. You might open the arms into a T shape or a cactus shape. Supine twist. If this is too much, especially on that top hip, the outer hip, you can stack the knees instead of crossing the knees. Gaze somewhere that feels comfortable for you, where your eyes are not wandering, where you can steady the gaze. Allow your attention to be open and wide. Become more aware, more sensitive to sensation. Feeling what it feels like to be on the floor. Noticing any temperature changes, texture changes. Let your exhale be deep and complete. Then inhale to bring the knees back to center. Can reset the hips if they moved, unwinding the legs. And then take the other side. If you crossed on the last side, try to cross on this side, shifting the hips over towards the left just an inch, and then lower the knees towards the right. Sides are different. Be generous. Use the sensations as information. Even though the eyes are open now, can you again turn your attention inward? You could even close the eyes if that feels better. Keep your breath long, slow, and deep. Take one more breath here. And on your inhale, bring the knees back to center and set up for Shavasana. Just like all the shapes, all of the asanas, Shavasana can look different day to day. You've all been practicing for long enough where you can listen to the sensations of your body and find out what's the most comfortable place you need. Sometimes in the winter, that means adding layers, adding a blanket or some socks or a sweater. In the summer, that might mean you're more splayed open. Take any adjustments that would make you feel even 1% more comfortable. Every 1% matters. What would it mean to have more Shavasana in the feet, in the legs, in the chest, in the back, in the arms, the neck, the face? Release any control over the breath, over the mind, over the body. Let it all just wander. Relax, release, and let go. Shavasana. You can stay here as long as you like. When you feel ready, allow your next inhale to be a little deeper. letting the exhales be just as deep so that every inhale you're taking in a lot of fresh breath. Invite some small movements into the fingers, the toes. Allow that movement to grow. Again, you can always stay still on your back for longer. You can always give yourself the gift of a longer Shavasana. When you feel ready, there's lots of little rituals some folks have at the end of Shavasana. Maybe you pull the knees into the chest and give them a squeeze, sort of feeling that compression. Maybe it feels good to take up space and reach the arms and legs long. Maybe you roll onto one side and feel supported by the floor for a little bit longer. And when you're ready, use your inhale, letting your head be heavy, lift up to a comfortable seat. Take as long as you need to find a spot where you can sit comfortably for a moment in stillness. Comfortably doesn't mean completely lax. There might be a little bit of discomfort. Notice a place in the body that does feel comfortable, that feels open. Relax the muscles of the face. Take a moment to thank yourself for showing up. For some of us, that is the work. Thank your body for working for you. Gratitude for the practice and its lineage and all the benefits it brings. We'll close with 3 breaths together. When you're ready, let your exhale be deep and complete as you lengthen through the spine from the hips to the crown. And then inhale through the nose. Exhale, open mouth, sigh. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Last time together, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Thank you for coming. Such an honor to share this practice with you.